This is another room in that great set of ruins under the Yeshiva Institute in Jerusalem called the Herodian Quarter. I just wanted to point something out that, well, if you look behind me, you can barely see. The light's a little severe, I know, but there's a great mosaic on the floor made up of tens of thousands of tiny little pieces of tile that spells out a Herodian pattern, where around the frame you have a wave motif, like the waves of the ocean. And on the inside you have what's called a meander motif, which I don't want to bore you with all these details, but it's named after the Meander River in Turkey, where how the river just meandered around, and that's where we get the term. But over there in the corner that you can see off to my left, and there's these jars. You can see these stone jars with a little table over the top of them. Those stone jars are kosher because they're stone, they're not pottery. Pottery was considered unclean or unable to hold a cleanliness, a ceremonial cleanliness. But stone was considered very clean and for ritual purity. Those jars probably hold about 15, maybe 20 gallons each. And they're the same type of stone water jars used for ritual hand washing that were found, or that were used rather, in the scripture in John chapter 2 when Jesus turned water into wine. Remember, it said there were 6 stone water jars there up in Canaan. We're a long way from Cana. But they had to fill them up or top them off with water, and then Jesus changed the water into wine. And those stone water jars, those hold 15 to 20 gallons. The ones that Jesus used to change the water into wine held an awful lot more than that. So that gives you an idea of how these things looked. It may not be what you pictured. And being made out of stone, they were kosher, so they were ceremonially clean. Just thought you'd like to know, here in this huge Herodian mansion underneath Jerusalem. If you want to find ruins in Jerusalem, you got to look under somebody's building. And we're underneath a huge school right now. Built it right over the top of this, so they didn't destroy this first century mansion made during the time of King Herod.